Lord Ganesha is the only god that has no human head. Lord Ketu is the only entity in the whole galaxy of astrology that has no human head. The divine message that they share with us is to turn in. But the majority is always concerned with turning on, which is Rahu. It is not a fact that Lord Ganesha's human head was cut by Shiva. It is just a symbolic representation, a divine message that human beings should think less and feel more. Thinking helps to solve problems, puzzles that are created by thinking, that is, by the mind. Whatever problems are created by the mind, you can solve them by using the same mind, the thinking pattern. Mind is mathematics, so you can solve mathematics by thinking because it is created by the mind. The trees that you count 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the mathematics of your mind. The trees have nothing to do with it. It is a creation of your mind. Whatever is the creation of the mind can be solved by the mind, by thinking. But what is not of the mind, but of the heart, or of the nature, of the cosmos, cannot be solved by the mind. Then you are trapped. Then you all cannot find the answer. That is how the so-called intellectuals then start struggling. They become impotent in solving the case because they miss to realize that the problem is existential. Love is also an existential problem. You cannot solve love problems by thinking. You may go on thinking and thinking and thinking, but you will come back to where you had started. You will find yourself trapped in a circle that just never ends, and still you go on thinking with no absolute solution. Thinking won't help in such situations. Only when you stop thinking, only when there is no head, no mind, that you can feel, and it is only when you feel that you can find the way, the solution, the answer to your problem. There are many such existential problems: death, birth, love. These all are existential problems. They are beyond mind, and when you try to solve them by using your mind, you fail. You fail miserably because you miss to understand that these existential problems cannot be solved by thinking, but only when you stop thinking and start feeling. Thinking won't let you vibrate with the existence. It is only when you start feeling that you can vibrate, and it is only when you vibrate that you start coming closer to the source of the problem. When there is too much of thinking, you are simply missing to identify the source of the problem. When there is absolutely no thinking, no mind, truth appears before you. You find the source of the problem, and when the source is found, the solution comes on its own. In the space of no mind, truth descends like light. Meditation is the state of no mind. When there is absolutely no thinking, meditation happens. When there are thoughts, it is a distraction, and when there are no thoughts, it is meditation. Lord Ganesha is meditation. Lord Ketu is meditation. The idol of Lord Ganesha simply reflects his state of meditation. There is absolutely no head, no mind. Ganesha is deeply engrossed within. What a beautiful representation is this! One of the greatest wonders with such a great message, that if you really want to experience joy, happiness, peace, then look at me, says Ganesha. I have no head, no mind. I am deeply engrossed within by turning inwards. Mohan asked, then how come the elephant face? The head or face of elephant is just a representation of his deep wisdom. Elephants are the wisest animals, and so the ancient seers and sages instilled the idol of Ganesha with an elephant face, when in reality this deity has no head, no mind, and that is what makes him one of the greatest lords. Without taking the name of Lord Ganesha, no scripture begins. It only begins and completes when one says, Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. One of the most striking similarities between Ketu and Ganesha is the quality of being detached. How? Asked Mohan. What do you do after worshipping the idol of Lord Ganesha for 10 days during Ganesh festival? Mohan said, I immerse the idol in a clean flowing water, river or sea. So you understand? And I appeal to all my close followers. Understand the fact that the action of immersing the idol in itself is a message that you should live with detachment. For 10 days you worship his idol, but in the end, what is he asking you to do? To not remain attached, but to detach yourself and immerse, let go his idol by dropping it in the flowing water. Understand this, and this is very significant. The whole message of Visarjan process, that is immersing the Ganesha idol, is to help you realize the fact that life should be lived with detachment. And that is exactly the divine message of Lord Ketu. Detachment. Real success in life comes only through detachment. One who self-realizes this truth goes a long way. India is the only country and Hinduism is the only religion, a unique religion where people make the mud idol and then the same people immerse the mud idol. And it is a very deep message from the Hindu civilization that nothing is permanent and nothing can be permanent, even your image of God. To throw away the idol of Ganesha, to immerse the idol of Ganesha, great courage is required. And this is deep, very deep. You have put everything that you had in your father to nurture him, to comfort him. For many days you have loved him, worshipped him, and now you have to let him go. How difficult it is going to be. How much courage is required to let him go. And you don't know next year if you would be there again to bring him back. But it has to be done. The message of Ganesha is simple. Love me, but let that love be detached. Detachment is being lovable, but without being possessive. Detachment means that you should not own bungalows and cars and beautiful things in life. You can have all of them, but you should not be attached to those things. Even if you have 10 bungalows and a dozen cars, still you should not get attached to them. But unfortunately, that is what happens. The things in your life possess you, and you think you possess them, but you become so attached to them that they start possessing you, and then you are trapped. You are deeply trapped. Remember, detachment is not that you should own nothing, but nothing should own you. Look at the beautiful lotus flower. It is rooted in water, but it is always found above the water. The real yogi is like a lotus flower. He is very much with us but not attached. His whole being is love. If you come, he will offer you as much love as you can receive. And if you leave, he will not be disturbed because his love is not dependent on the outside factor. He is no more falling in love. He has become love. Whoever comes to him will be touched and blessed by the fragrance of his detached, selfless love. Usually, love seems to be always an attachment to you. The deeper the attachment, the more you think it is love. But the Master's love is utterly detached. He loves, yet he is not bound by it. He loves, but he is not binding on you. You know a love which creates excitement. The Master's love is utterly peaceful. There is no excitement. It is nothing to do with romance. The Master is a contented man. He has absolutely no expectations. He asks for nothing. So then it becomes difficult to understand him, especially those who are always hungry. Buddha calls those people hungry who always want more and more and more. This more is Rahu and no more is Ketu. Lord Ganesha wants nothing, has no expectations. He is in his peace. And so whenever anybody is suffering because of Rahu, I ask them to visit Lord Ganesha temple, to worship him, to read his shlokas, his stotras. It is not that Ganesha and Ketu are the same. Whenever I mention in my sharings, I have been mentioning many times that when I say Ketu is Shri Ganesha, I mean when you worship Ganesha, the qualities of Ketu will start enhancing within your being. Then you will understand Ketu, then you will resonate with his energy, then you will start turning inwards. And this is significant. This is very significant for you all to understand that the more you worship Ganesha, the more you would nurture the Ketu qualities within you. And that will be a great blow to Rahu. That will be a great danger to Rahu because now you are becoming intelligent. Now you are turning inwards. Now you are becoming wise. Now you are no more interested on the outside. Now you are slowly, steadily getting rooted within yourself. And that is indeed a great transformation in the making. Once you are rooted in your own center, nothing from outside can move you. The more you go deep within your being, the more you meditate by focusing on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Between these two actions, the whole story of your life is scripted. And the more your meditation improves, the more you yourself will be able to read the script of your life. Who is a wise man? A wise man is an individual. He is not behind personalities. He has thrown away the mask of personality and lives his life by being himself. A wise man is alive. He is afire. He is courageous. He would rather die than to be enslaved. Lord Ganesha represents the wisdom of such a wise man. It is through Lord Ganesha that you realize the beauty of Ketu. By and by, whatever deity you worship, certain qualities of the planet or the entity such as Ketu develop within you. When you worship Lord Ganesha, Ketu qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Dattatreya, Jupiter qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Vishnu, Jupiter qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Krishna, Jupiter and Mercury qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Shiva, Sun, Moon, Ketu qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Hanuman, Mars qualities develop within you. When you worship Lord Bhairav, Mars qualities develop within you. When you worship Goddess Lakshmi, Venus and Mercury qualities develop within you. When you worship Goddess Durga, Mars and Venus qualities develop within you. Rahu qualities are developed when you worship tantric gods or gods that rule the underworld, meaning the Patal Lok. Generally, the reptile snake gods represent the qualities of Rahu. Some tantric goddess or goddesses of Tantra also represent Rahu qualities. So every deity is in a way a bridge between you and the concerned planet energy. If you ask me, then to me the greatest bridge is the Master, the Guru. Through the benevolent Master you experience God. And Sant Kabir beautifully mentions the significance of the Guru through his divine words, and those words should be inscribed in gold. Sant Kabir says, "If here before me stand both my Guru and Govind, the Almighty, I would first prostrate before my Guru, because it is he who revealed to me the Govind." Beautiful. Kabir goes deep into our heart, one of the greatest saints that the world has ever known. I humbly prostrate before His Holiness Sant Kabir. All the divine saints would not have become saints had it not been the grace of Lord Ganesha and the matured state of Ketu within them. Without Ketu, there is absolutely no enlightenment. Ketu, therefore, is one of the greatest tools of the benevolent Guru, because Ketu is detachment, and unless you start becoming detached, there is absolutely no way for you to progress in the true sense. Lord Ganesha is the most significant deity whose message for all his devotees is to turn inwards. Through his appearance, the message is loud and clear. He is saying, "Look, I have no head, no mind. I am deeply engrossed within, and so why can't you do so?" Through the ritual of immersing his idol on the 10th day of Ganesh festival, the sages are simply conveying the message that do not get attached to even the idol god. Time comes and you have to let go. You have to immerse by becoming detached. The dispersion of Lord Ganesha idol or the Visarjan is a very deep transformative process, because to throw a god needs courage, to throw a god needs detachment, to throw a god you were worshipping for 10 long days. You were falling at the feet of the god, crying, dancing, singing, and now you yourself go and throw the idol into the sea. So it was just a device to make you realize that nothing is permanent and you should learn to live a detached life. Ketu's message is also the same. Live a detached life. You are married, then do not become possessive. The moment you become possessive, love ceases to exist. Love feels suffocated when there is no freedom. Why you become possessive? Because of your fear of losing. You fear of losing, and so you want to possess. In this madness, you go on missing love. The more you become possessive, the more you are moving away from love. Then your wife starts feeling suffocated. Then your children, then your mother, your father. Everybody feels suffocated when somebody tries to possess them. Love ends and what remains is possession. What is the point in living such a life? Why be possessive? The possessiveness shows simply one thing, that you cannot trust existence. Non-possessiveness is basically trust in existence. There is no need to possess because the whole is already ours. When you love, you simply love. When you love, let there be no doubt, let there be no fear of losing. Remember, that is the message of Ketu. That is what detachment is. You love, you simply love. An innocent man goes on loving. People may cheat him. He may be cheated by his lover. He may be cheated by his wife, but his innocence remains. Those who cheated him, those lovers and partners who left him must be utterly poor. But he remains rich, and his richness is in his innocence. He may go on experiencing cheaters, but his innocence always remains, and it is this innocence that eventually moves him to the higher altitudes. Then one day the benevolent master comes and says, "You idiot, do you still want to remain in this mud, or now you want to come with me?" The heart of an innocent man or woman is like butter. Then the man starts crying. Then he goes in deep meditations. Then he starts self-realizing that what an idiot he has been his whole life, running behind fake gold, fake beauties, fake world. Then a great transformation starts happening. Then the qualities of Ketu start developing. Then he starts turning inwards. Then he starts realizing the many treasures of the higher altitudes. Then there is no looking back. The sky, that is the consciousness, is clear, and he is ready to fly. It happens, it always happens, that a man who is transforming is criticized by those plastic men and women who don't know themselves. Once it happened, a young man, and he was changing for good. He was taking efforts to rise above the mind. He was meditating. He was coming closer to the realms of consciousness. But the society won't let him grow so easily. You see, that is how this fake society is. Then some so-called intellectuals and moralists started saying, look at him. All his life he was such a womanizer and was such a drunkard. And look, now he is acting out as a virtuous man, as a prayerful man. You see, those who have been acting out their whole life by wearing masks will only find the other also as acting out. Whatever is within you is what you will see on the outside. They all were making fun of him, talking about his shady past. They forgot the fact that every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Whenever the young man would walk to the temple, they would gossip between themselves. Look how he is being saintly, taking Lord's name. But they were unaware that Kabir was walking around, and Sant Kabir heard them gossiping, and he looked at them and said, "He has got up from his sleep, but what about you all?" And this is a very significant question that each one of you should ask yourself before you point your finger on anybody who is trying to transform, to change himself for good. At least he has got up from his sleep. It doesn't matter what he had been doing while he was sleeping. What matters is that he has got up from his sleep. He is no more asleep. But those who are gossiping, those who are judging him, are still living a plastic life. They themselves are fast asleep. How can they realize the beauty of a person who has awakened from his sleep? A person who is awakened has self-realized the futility of sex, money, wealth, power, status. He had enough of it, and because he had it, he has come to the point of awakening where he realized that all of this is not the answer. This realization has to be earned through your own experiences and awareness. Ketu is detachment. Ganesha is detachment. Their message is simple: detach yourself. And if you miss to listen to their message, then you simply miss this life. And this is how you all go on missing. You remain on the surface, flaunting your intellectualism, and in this futile process, you simply miss to self realize that intellectualism is a very poor substitute to intelligence. Be intelligent and not intellectual. And the way towards intelligence goes through your heart and not the head. Get out of your head and get into your heart. That is the message of Ketu, and that is the whole essence of Lord Ganesha. Meditate every day. Chant the holy Ganesha mantra. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Jai Sri Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.